Hi, looks like we're live. Just getting my light set up here. Okay, hopefully that's gonna work. So, this video might be on my profile or it might be on the event page, but it's a video for an event called the Best Year Yet Boot Camp. And this is one of the virtual boot camps that I offer. And basically, to give you a quick overview, and I'll give more details at the end, but it's a combination of exercise videos that you can do at home, an online support group, and nutrition support. So those are really the three elements: fitness, nutrition, and support. And it's a system that works really well for me personally and for my clients. And so that's why I've been doing this for 5 years now. And the theme of the January group is the Best Year Yet Boot Camp. We are getting started already, but you can still join, which is why I am making this video. On the event page, you can find a lot more information about this. So, I've been posting for, I think, about a week now, and you can find some examples of the different workout options and some information about the nutrition plans. So if you are interested, I would recommend that you go and look at that after you get done with this video. Again, it's called the Best Year Yet Boot Camp. It should be tagged on this video. But message me if you have trouble finding it. But anyway, that's what this is all about. And January is a time when people set intentions for the year ahead, and maybe you chose a word or a theme for the upcoming year. But it's a time when people are really wanting to set the tone beyond just, this month or this week. And it prompts some reflection, right? And so in addition to that, I had my coaching anniversary of when I started my business in December, and so was doing some reflecting for that reason as well. And it just was prompting me to think about kind of all of the different phases I've gone through on my journey. And so I thought for this video, I would share some lessons that I had kind of realized as I was reflecting, lessons I've learned along the way, but I think it's also going to shed light on what these programs can do for you, fitness and nutrition programs and the virtual support group. When I say programs, I kind of mean all of the above. If you should decide that you would like to work with me, there's a questionnaire I would have you fill out, and I would give you a recommendation for what I think would be the most useful for you, or maybe a couple options. But so that's where this is going. Really the three biggest lessons, each one is from a different phase of my journey, but it just goes to show that in my repertoire of programs that I offer, there really is something for everyone. Different phases of life, different fitness levels, different kind of levels of self-awareness and connection with, body image and knowledge of nutrition. I have programs for different levels. So let me get into more of what I mean about that. So let me take you back to 2014. And a lot of you know this, so I'm not going to go into too much detail in this story. But if you don't know this, there's a lot more detail about everything that I went through that's available. I have some YouTube videos that go into my story, so let me know if you want to know more. But in a nutshell, in 2014, I went in for surgery for endometriosis and had some really serious complications. And I ended up being in the ICU for a week. I was in the hospital inpatient for 3 weeks. I was on dialysis for 3 months because my kidneys failed. And I'm doing a lot better now, but I just like people to know that if you didn't already, because I think that when you see my workout videos, I'm really strong now and I'm proud of that, but it hasn't always been this way. And so I want you to have a sense of where I came from. When I first, it's really incredible how quickly your body loses strength in a crisis situation for your health. I mean, I'm talking about like they had this kind of inflatable chair thing that they brought next to my hospital bed. And at first it was just like trying to shift onto this chair and shift back into the bed. And those like very, very simple movements, and doing that was difficult and it was tiring, and that was all I could do. Like that was my starting point. You know, not to be dramatic, but I do like people to know that, because I really built my strength back up from nothing. Like I was in the hospital with a 1 pound weight doing bicep curls because they had brought me those for physical therapy for other things. So I started from square one again when I got back into exercising. Obviously there were some things in the middle, some walking, some stretching, physical therapy I mentioned. But when I came back to the workout programs, you know, I had finished Insanity with Shaun T the day before my surgery, and then my fitness just crashed. And so I had to start with that. We have a Tai Chi program, and it was working on getting my balance back, like and range of motion in my joints. I couldn't go down to the floor and get back up again. There was pain and weakness prevented me from doing that at the beginning. So just, you know, patience and taking it slow and gentle activity was what helped me get it back. And then it really, I think, did produce a shift in my mindset. I was no longer embarrassed to follow the modifier. So all of these exercise programs have a modifier showing a low impact version of the move, you know, for someone who might not be as strong yet, who might not have as much endurance, who might have an injury, you know, kind of like a chronic, you know, joint issues, things like that. So that's what the modifications are for. But it was like a pride thing of like, I have to do the most intense form of the exercise or it like won't be worth it. And you know, that I knew that wasn't the correct attitude to have, but at the same time, that was still kind of how I felt. So the experience of being so sick really cured me of that and helped me to see it a different way. You know, I would never, ever have judged any of my clients for following the modifier, but for myself, it sounds bad, but I kind of felt like I was better than that. Or, you know, maybe it was like, okay, I have no injuries, like, I don't need to follow the modifier. Like, you know, it was all about pushing myself. And now, you know, there have been times when, I mean, thank goodness I haven't gotten really injured. Injuries happen to everyone eventually, but since being so sick, I don't think I've had any major injuries. Well, other than the dog bite incident with my hand, but that wasn't an injury from like working out. But so anyways, after, you know, I had a hand injury and lost mobility with that. There have been kind of like aches and pains and things, or, you know, times that I've been sick, and I'm no longer embarrassed or afraid or ashamed to follow the modifier. I recognize it as just another tool that helps us adjust and adapt the workout to our needs. It's not necessarily a sign of weakness. In fact, doing something that's appropriate for your fitness level or your kind of ability level, which can change from day to day, that's a sign of wisdom. So I see it really differently now, and it's all about listening to your body and making adjustments as necessary to give your body what it needs. You know, sometimes pushing your body to really go for it and gain strength, sometimes that is what you need, but not always. Okay, lesson number 2 is to keep an open mind. And I was thinking about this one as I look back over all the programs I have completed. I don't know the exact number, but it's got to be dozens of them now. We have 4 dozen programs in our workout library, and I've completed just almost all of them. And there were several that in the beginning, like I heard they were coming out and I was like, I'm not really into that. Or I tried the first session, the first few sessions, and just didn't enjoy the moves. And so I'll give you a couple examples. Country Heat is a dance program to country music, and it's like pop country, which is part of why I think I liked it more than I expected. It's not like super melodramatic, like slide guitar country, which has its place, but not really workout music, right? But who knew that? I mean, it's kind of like line dancing to pop country. Like, I just never expected to like it as much as I did. That's kind of like one of my go-tos when I need like an active recovery day. It gets your heart beating. It does build some strength, obviously balance, coordination, and it's fun. There's really something to be said for just getting moving in a way that you find fun. And it, you know, even if it is not all that intense, it's way better for you than quitting, which is what you might do if you're doing something you hate, right? Another example, Core de Force is one of my favorite programs now. It's an interval training program that in a kickboxing format, more or less, martial arts, different drills, but it's got a kickboxing flavor to it. And the moves are really distinctive, and it's asking you to do some different things with your core that you might not otherwise you might not have types of movements that you might not have, that you might not be familiar with from like any other program. It's just totally different from anything else that I've done. As a result, in the beginning, I was sitting there following the video and thinking like, I don't really like how this is feeling. And looking back, I think I just wasn't really doing it right, or, you know, it takes a while for your body to really learn. And only once you really learn the movements can you get the most out of them. So in the beginning, it just feels awkward, and it feels like I just spent 45 minutes working out and I don't feel like I really did that much. That was the impression I got of Core de Force at first. But because I'm a coach, I stuck with it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to complete this program that I started. Well, by the end, I loved it so much that I decided to do the whole thing again. And like I said before, it's now one of my absolute favorites. Like, it's like riding a bike. Once you really get it, your body just remembers. And it is very effective, but I couldn't necessarily feel that at first. So all this to say, keep an open mind and give things a chance. Another example is PiYo, P-I-Y-O. The name comes from it being a combination of Pilates and yoga, and it definitely is inspired by those systems of movement, but it is really its own thing. It's a low-impact program from Chalene Johnson, who she's pretty famous, but like the creator of TurboFire, TurboKick. She's got a lot of different workout programs going back a long time. But PiYo is her low-impact program. The whole reason she created it is she said that she like kind of couldn't sit still in yoga. I want to say that she like got kicked out of yoga classes. I don't know if that would really happen, but for like being too hyper, basically. So as a yoga instructor, that rubs me the wrong way a little bit, because that stillness is something to be learned and cultivated, right? But I also do understand that it doesn't come easily for a lot of people. And the way I have come to see it is PiYo can be a bridge. There's more movement. You're not holding things for more than a couple counts in most cases. Quick transitions from one pose to another. That's why a lot of yoga instructors, yoga junkies don't like PiYo. And it is a little jarring at first, coming from a more kind of classical yoga background. But by doing it more, I came to realize it is its own system. It's related, but it's also something different. And it can be that bridge, like I was saying, that, you know, as different as it is from yoga, someone who's done PiYo can go into a yoga class and recognize some things, and it won't be completely foreign. And I think that's pretty cool that, you know, a lot of people have that experience where they do their first or they go to a yoga class and it's all so new. If you don't have a good instructor, you're completely lost, and it's not a pleasant experience at all. That actually was my experience with my first yoga class, and I didn't go back for 5 years. So whatever can help people become more familiar with yoga, I'm on board. But in addition to that, I have come to appreciate PiYo for its own merits, and I actually really enjoy it. Once I kind of let go of expecting it to be yoga or Pilates, I could appreciate it for its own thing. So just on this whole point of keeping an open mind, you know, these programs that I either didn't like at first or didn't expect to enjoy have really added some flavor to my fitness experience journey along the way. That, you know, if you just keep doing the same program over and over, you might like it because it's familiar, you know, it's your favorite, it's fun, you love it, but it gets boring after a while. And it's worth trying something different, even if you don't like it as much. You might start to like it more eventually, but even if you never get to like it as much as your original favorite, it still can be really fun and rewarding. All right, lesson number 3. Almost done here. Never say never. Never say never. Your body may one day be able to do things that you never expected. And it's everything from people with limited mobility getting more back than they ever expected to, you know, in my case, there have been things where it just seemed like my body is not strong enough, or I don't have strength in that part of my body. And or like there were things that just hurt and didn't feel right. X jumps is a good example. That's where you jump up in the air and spread your body in an X formation and then come back down and land. And those felt the worst on my knees. I first tried them in Turbo Kick class, and I did like 2, and then I was like, I have to modify. And I just, at that time, accepted that like this is not something that works for, you know, I had this theory about having flat feet, and I just thought it's not working for my body. Well, several years later, several levels of fitness higher, I can do X jumps just fine. And I think it was just not having strength in the right muscles. But it's not something you can like will yourself to have. You have to work on it and work up to it. But I think that's actually a wonderful metaphor for just about anything in fitness. When it's brand new, like when you're starting a new workout program, it is totally normal and natural to have those moments of my body doesn't do this, I can't do this. And you know, it is really tough when that's like every move throughout an entire half hour. But watch the modifier, ask your coach for suggestions. Take it one move at a time, one rep at a time. Like, you can do it. And the really cool thing about exercise, it actually helps with brain plasticity, and it becomes this self-reinforcing loop, because then once you do something new with your body, when you go to sleep that night, your brain is rewiring. It's developing those new connections and pathways to help you do that same movement better the next time you try it. I mean, isn't that just the coolest thing? I think that's like mind-blowing. That's probably a bad pun. But so then, you know, the next time you try it, it's more automatic, it feels easier, and the muscles are stronger too. And meanwhile, you're exercising, getting blood flow to the brain, circulation, and you're aiding that plasticity to help you learn even better. So, you know, another good one is push-ups. I have a whole tutorial on my blog with like step by step, starting with, do it right here, okay? I'm just standing up, but you can do a push-up, and you can work on your form and having a strong core. You can do this against a wall. And then you go to a table, lower, and then maybe a bench or the stairs in your house. And then you get on the floor and you do push-ups on your knees. But there are steps to work up to it. And by working that way, people are able to do a push-up when they never thought it would be possible for them. I've seen it happen many times. So never say never. All right, so those are the 3 lessons. Don't be afraid to follow the modifier, no shame in it, and listen to your body above and beyond that. Keep an open mind and never say never. So hopefully this was interesting for you to hear about a little bit more about my journey and what I've learned along the way. And hopefully that's been a little bit of a window into the programs that I offer, the different types of workouts. I'm not seeing any questions. I don't know if I can see questions and comments, because normally there are some popping up and I don't have any right now. So if you asked something, or if you want to ask something, I will come back and look for comments at a later date and make sure that I get to all of them. As far as the details about this program, so the Best Year Yet boot camp is kind of your month 1. That's the theme of it. But then the support that you receive continues for a full year. Support meaning one-on-one support from me as your coach, and also access to our virtual support groups, which is in a separate app that comes with your package. It's a really wonderful community, very supportive, very encouraging, and it kind of adds that social element where now you're getting these workout videos from, Shaun T, Chalene Johnson, other people that I've mentioned. Really well done videos. They're fun, they're inspiring, and you can do them whenever you want. If you want to work out at 5 a.m. or you want to work out at 11 p.m., you don't have to conform to anyone else's schedule. You can do it on your time. You don't have to care what you look like, because no one's going to see you. And, you don't have to worry about sanitizing your equipment at the gym, and, you don't have to drive to the gym, so you can do it just in the comfort of your own home. So it's all the convenience of working out at home, but you get the social aspect too in the form of our support group. So then in addition to that, you also get nutrition support, and I have different programs, and I'm not going to get into the details about which one is which and what the different ones offer, but if you are interested in working together, just know that nutrition support is part of the package, and I would send you a questionnaire to help me kind of narrow down what I recommend for you. Ultimately, the choice is up to you, and I'll explain or ask questions to clarify as long as you want, to help you pick the nutrition program and level of support that is right for you. And in addition to that, you also get access, or you get a 30-day supply of either Shakeology or the performance supplements to try, and that really helps get the most out of your workouts, feel good, have energy for your workouts, depending on which option you choose. Shakeology is more of a multivitamin, all-around supplement with many different beneficial ingredients for your health. The performance line is focused more around muscle recovery and improving your performance during your workout, as the name would indicate, but in safe and legal ways and natural. So you get to try one or the other with your package, depending on which one you are most interested in. And that is really what's included. It's $160, which I think is an amazing deal for a year of support. There's just one exception. If you are wanting the Shaun T option, there's a different pricing schedule. His new program with a step, and that's because there's additional equipment included, and it's an early access program. So there's like a million different options for that. If you know you want that one, we'll talk about which option is right for you from those packages. But the basic 1 year of access to everything except Transform 20 is $160. It's really an incredible deal for everything that you're getting. And in addition to that, I always do some kind of bonus to encourage you to act now instead of waiting until next month. And so this month's bonus, if you enroll by this Friday, January 19th, you are going to get a passion planner, which is my favorite planner. It has different, it's not just writing how you're spending your time, but it's prompting the kind of reflection that I was talking about in the beginning, with setting an intention and setting goals that are aligned with your values and things like that. So it's really a nice tool to have for creating a meaningful and enjoyable life. And I really hope that you, if you're thinking about joining us, that you decide to get in time so you can take advantage of that. Like I said before, I'll be back to answer questions. So let me know what I can clear up for you. And I hope you come and join us for the program. Have a great night.